Hello, this is Rob Milicevic. There we go. And Dan Moloughney. Is it started? Tag friends. No, shared a group. Anyways, we're here to talk about real estate and other subjects.
Real estate.
Yes, real estate.
I thought
there
it
you
was
go.
cars.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about
car
cars.
talk.
Yeah, Robbie and I have a long relationship of looking and talking about cars. And Robbie buying them.
Dan looking at them.
Yeah, just saying, no, I'll keep the same one I've got. Rob, where did I meet you?
We met in Germany years ago, maybe 20 years ago almost.
It was either, I'm going to say 99 or 2000. I think
2000.
it was 99. Was it 2000?
It was 2000. We were both working in high tech, expats in Germany, and we'd often go shopping for cars together.
Yeah, on Sundays when you couldn't buy anything.
That's right, because things are closed in Germany on Sunday.
Do you want cream or hot milk?
Please. Delicious. Yeah, so we come via high tech from Germany back to Ottawa. And Dan made the switch to real estate shortly after, I think.
01.
01.
Sorry, no, 2002 was when I got licensed. Sorry. 01 is we bought our first home.
Then you urged me to get into it.
Yeah.
And I worked with Dan for a year or two back then.
That was a while ago. I don't remember.
A long time ago, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for the coffee, Dan.
Yeah.
This is Realtors on wicker
Old wicker chairs.
On wicker chairs
Drinking coffee. Yeah, there we go.
Got any jokes?
I don't. I'm not very good at jokes. So, well, maybe I am.
You could be.
I don't remember them.
Your poker face is strong.
That's what it is. Yeah. So, we thought we'd talk about real estate. Well, let's give a little bit about real estate. I don't think it... Oh, somebody's watching. Oh, Sam's on.
Hey, Sam.
Hi, Sam. Did you look at the stats from July, or how was your feel for what's going on?
I didn't look at the stats, no. It's been busy. I've been busy.
Yeah, good.
But you've looked at the stats.
I've looked at the stats. Basically, it's a seller's market in most of Ottawa.
Yeah.
And pretty well what I'm telling clients, if you're thinking of leaving Ottawa, now's a great time. If you're thinking of upsizing, downsizing, changing neighborhoods, it's difficult to find the right place. There's a competition for most good properties. There could be, whether it's sold in a day or 3 days or 8 days, with or without multiple offers. The buyers don't have a lot of strength right now. The sellers have the strength. So, hey Tim, thanks for joining. I don't know if you're listening, but this is Rob and I'm Dan. It's been a seller's market. I'm going to say upwards of a year and a half for a lot of neighborhoods. My feeling is. I don't know what you're seeing in your business. So we both, I assume you work similar to me now. Repeat and referral mostly.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Rob
exactly.
was my client multiple times. A great client.
I give a lot of business to Dan.
Yes, he did,
years,
and he shared a lot of referrals with me over the years, which I appreciate. And I'd give you a big hug if we weren't on the internet right now.
We'll do it after.
Yeah, okay. Where was I going with that? Anyways, the market is way more difficult for buyers right now, and it's more difficult, getting into the market.
People always ask what the factors are for this hot market.
Why is it happening
How
now?
many factors are there? There's a lot of factors.
Well, if I remembered the terms I learned in math going through university, I might be able to say exactly, but it's the stats and stuff are gone out of my brain. But
so interest rates are still low.
Yes, yeah, okay.
Right?
Yes, yeah.
In-migration, I think, is a big deal for Ottawa.
Yes, absolutely.
We've exceeded 1 million people, which I think happened realistically a long time ago, but the city signs never caught up to reality. I got a feeling.
Oh, well...
It took a long time to go from 980 to 1 million.
Yeah, well, I think we were averaging about 10,000 new residents per year over the last few years. Guessing a little more in the last little bit. Audrey, nice to see you. Sorry, it pops up who's joining, and I'm like looking at, hey, I remember Audrey. Hi, Audrey. Old neighbor. And
all right.
Tim and I went to school in grade school. So anyways, back to
so
the
10,000 plus
per year. It's
per
2
year.
years to get.
And how many units are built in Ottawa per year?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head.
Can't be 10,000.
No.
So
No.
there it is.
No. Yeah, and the rental market's always tight.
Mhm.
It's always tight. Rob's multi-time landlord as well. You have 8 units left. Is that it?
Yeah, I've got a multi in Ottawa,
Yeah.
a multi-unit, and I have a couple of condos. Everyone renting.
Oh, I
out.
forgot about the condo. Yeah. Okay. Still two. Or?
Two.
Two. Yeah.
2 condos. And so you notice that the rental market closely follows the sales market because they're intimately tied. Right?
Yeah.
If prices go too high, people become renters because they can't get in,
Yeah.
and so that pushes up.
Yeah.
Not to mention the short-term rental business, the Airbnbs.
Yeah, and I think that's driven up the prices big time. I think it changes the economics of buying multifamily, which has helped drive up the prices of multifamilies, investment properties as well. So I think I've been going off in different tangents. I apologize.
No, it's all factors leading to where we are now.
So where is the price going? We're at or under 2 months supply of housing, so of for sale as of the last stat. So how many months would it take to sell all the listings if we sold the same number of listings as last month? And it's under 2 months, which is a total seller's month.
Yeah.
So
if you want to sell, you sell now, possibly.
Yeah,
but then you got to
long
move
close.
somewhere where
Yeah.
the market is less hot.
Yeah, exactly. Are you retiring?
Or
Are you, leaving the city? I mean, people come to Ottawa. It's an immigration city, right, for jobs and stuff, right? So we got government. We have a lot of high tech now. It's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, high tech. I missed you.
Did you though?
No, it was the right move for me, but it was very difficult, I think, for a lot of people. You got through okay. You stayed in Europe for a little bit.
Yeah, I stayed in Europe a bit longer after high tech bust. But it was just a delayed reaction to.
Yeah, you didn't want to come back.
Yeah. The cars.
Yeah, the cars. Yeah, lots of nice cars, interesting cars.
So what car is this real estate jobby here?
This is a 57 Pontiac Laurentian with a V8, which is a 283, not a
It's
350.
a super efficient model, I believe. wasn't
Yes,
it?
it's I guess 2.5 tons or something.
Steel.
It's all steel,
Yeah.
and I'll show a picture. It's on the website too. But I've been lucky enough to. I have a father who likes old cars, and this is one that's going to stay in the family. So I won't say I've inherited
And
it
that's
yet.
your real
but it's-
estate.
Yeah,
car.
this is what I drive around when I can for real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and occasionally bring clients. And it's a happy car. It makes people smile on the street.
Yeah.
I'm serious. You drive down the street and people smile. I'm just like, what's better than that? Now it feels weird when I'm in the other car and people aren't looking at me.
Yeah, it's an average modern car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just another silver car going by. But anyways, let's get back to real estate for a bit longer.
Yeah.
But so the market. So I should have planned this better, but we're just going to blab for a while. The market, I think, has been super difficult for buyers. 18 months solid, very difficult for buyers, especially under the 400 or 500 range. It's like super competition for most anything that's well presented and priced in the right range. Multiple offers or sold very quickly, and depending on the neighborhood, that would tell you what range that might be in. So in Canada, it might be a townhome or a semi at 400 to 500, maybe less if it's condominium semi or a row unit. Downtown, it could be the $800 to $1 million range, which sounds kind of crazy, but I think there's more money in Ottawa. I think part of it's high tech. I think maybe part of it's Shopify. I don't know how many people Shopify have working for them now. There's more money being shown in Ottawa, and I think we spoke about this before, about some of the cars driving around Ottawa. We never used to see these cars.
True, yeah.
Back to cars. I saw...
There's an R8 parked on your street.
Yes.
Convertible.
Is it convertible?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I see an R8 now.
That's worth a
2
condo.
or 3. Yeah, it used to be worth the condo. Yeah.
When they bought it.
Yes, maybe when they bought it. Yeah, it was worth the condo. And Bentley Continental 2-door parks on my street once a week. I think it's the barbershop at the corner draws in people.
Yeah.
I think Lansdowne's part of it. I see Ferraris once a week. I see McLarens once every week or two now. You never. Like, we're back to car talk. We do like real estate.
The idea, though, is that there's money.
But where is this
here.
money coming from, and how is it being spent? So I had a good conversation with my mechanic, Paradise Auto, on 825 Campbell
You talk to your
Avenue.
barber and your mechanic about reality.
Exactly.
They all know.
And he had an RA parked out front. Maybe I shouldn't say too much. Anyways, but he said the younger people, they're spending their money, is what he's seeing. So he's about my age. I'm late 40s. And he's just seeing it in the last few years. The younger people are spending the money, whether they're taking loans or not buying homes or stay living at home or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're buying the nice stuff, which I know we're tempted to do. You've done a little more of, but not that.
You've
kind
even
of thing.
wiser with the car front than I.
Yeah, no, but
definitely.
but still, you didn't go out and spend over $100,000 on it, right?
Yeah.
So someday, it's coming. Yeah, not yet.
So tech, government, obviously, it's always been here, and it's not ever going to shrink, I think.
Well, there was some cutbacks in the 90s and stuff, but it's been a long time. We got the election coming up, so federal election. That usually slows things down a bit, but I don't think it's going to this time. I think it's. I think there's too much pent-up demand.
Do you think part of the reason is that Ottawa pricing might have been relative to income quite
affordable,
favorable for
a
long time,
for sure.
and now it's sort of like, we can. Like Toronto was way past this point. A long time ago.
Yeah. Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary was probably worse for a while. I don't know what it's like now, but like who? Unless you're going for a career change, it's not like, the houses are cheaper, I'm going to move to Ottawa. That's my argument, right? Unless you're looking for a new job.
Yeah.
Right? You're not going to change cities just because the houses are less. You may move further out, which I guess is happening in Toronto, GTA. And it happens here. Like, I show homes occasionally in Carleton Place, Belmont.
Yeah.
You can drop $550 on a 2-year-old bungalow in Carleton Place now. Very nice, well built.
Not cheap.
But not cheap. Like, you could be into a nice house in Carp for that price.
Yeah.
Right? As you know.
Yeah.
Price range anyways. So people are going further out, and I think the Carleton Place, Almont is a function of more of high tech.
Yeah, because it's relatively close to high tech.
Yeah.
Almont being not Ottawa, but still
Which is
15-20 minutes.
I love Ottawa, but to be outside of Ottawa would be a little better.
Cheaper taxes, for
Cheaper
sure.
taxes.
Yeah.
You can have a fire when appropriate on your land.
Yeah, you can hunt.
Yeah, I don't live in the country though. Yeah, hunt. Yeah, so.
Are you seeing a lot of investors from outside of Ottawa, and not people buying their homes, but investing?
I believe there's a large portion of investors, larger percentage of investors than what there used to be.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe that. People say, whatever person from another country, a new Canadian, they're dropping all their money, everyone's coming to Ottawa. I don't know about that, but certainly there's a portion, and it's affecting things. The interest rates being lower makes it easier, but it also forces down the cap rates, which pushes up the pricing. Cap rate is your return on investment if you didn't have a mortgage. If you bought, you know this, I'll just tell everybody else. If you bought a place for $100,000 and after all expenses except mortgage, you got $5,000 back per year, that's 5%, your cap rate's 5%. So depending on the neighborhood, you could be under 4% now in Ottawa, in certain areas, up to maybe 7 and change.
For a bad looking
Ottawa
place.
neighborhood that'll most likely have a lot of turnover and need a lot of work over time. Whereas, get outside of Ottawa, get a little bit past the easily commutable distance, and the cap rates go up drastically. You were involved in Cornwall for a while, which is a little bit tougher, and I've done some business in Pembroke in the spring. I think I mentioned that too.
Yeah.
And the cap rates are very different. It's a different market, and you have to understand. I hope this is working properly. I hope you guys can hear this okay. Yeah. Anyways, we can say it again.
Maybe someone can say.
Yeah. How do we sound? Do we sound okay? Hi, Nancy. You may remember Nancy. Yeah.
Yes, Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy O'Day. She was at Pretoria.
Okay.
She changed brokerages, I believe. So back to the out-of-town investment property. You can see cap rates easily over 8, depending where you go and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've looked outside of town.
I did a couple of deals. Prescott, all the way up to North Bay recently.
Oh, really?
Yep. And I went there.
Okay, let me interject. We're licensed in Ontario, but RICO urges us to stay within a certain range of our comfort zone, depending on the client.
Yeah.
So please continue.
But you can.
Yeah, we're licensed in
If
Ontario.
the clients are fine with it.
Yeah.
And the cap rates were essentially double what Ottawa's. So basically, you're doubling your income for the same price with a property.
Yeah.
Now you might have problems with appreciation.
Well, it
being
depends what you're
much
looking
slower.
for. Yeah. It depends what you're looking
Maybe
for.
you want just cash flow, in which case you could look outside of the core. If you want appreciation, you can't beat the center.
What's been going on here since 90, I'm going to say 97, is when I believe 96, somewhere between 96 and 98. I was out of the country, we were out of the country for much of that. Ottawa's been appreciating for 1 or 2 years, might have been stable for residential, normal residential. Condos had a dip there, right? A few years ago, condos definitely
back
went
now.
down. They're back.
Big time.
Yeah, they're back and they're appreciating. So those people and former clients or friends that had to sell condos in the 2 years ago or more, I'm sorry it happened. But, there was a bit of a euphoria for condos around 2010-ish, plus or minus a few years, where people may have overpaid, but how do you know anymore?
Yeah, long term.
Yeah.
It depends how short your window is.
Yeah.
You might overpay short term, so to speak. But so have you seen the graph that from the mid 50s there's been a very stable
Oh yeah.
5 to 6% growth in Ottawa.
Ottawa is like
Yeah.
the most stable.
Yeah. It's an anomaly in Canada, really.
Well, it's government. It's federal government. You know, like what I've probably said this to you before, because we've talked about real estate quite a bit over the years, to say the least. What I say is that who comes to Ottawa, who moves to Ottawa, and why do they come here? They're not coming here to work for the big banks downtown. There's banks here, but they're not the hub of banks. They're coming here for government, possibly high tech. But over the long term, it's been government. What is a government employee looking for? Stability? A pension?
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are some of the main things. So are they going to be super aggressive when they're buying their house usually? Usually they're going to hold back, right? It's a little bit of fiscal
Responsibility.
or conservatism.
Yep.
You know,
And they're not going to move as much.
And they're not going to
They're
move.
stable jobs, so they might stay longer
Exactly.
than the average ladder climber.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now, I think maybe this is just a feeling I have, we're starting to maybe have a quicker turnaround in some neighborhoods, especially the people who bought new condos. Say they signed up to buy the condo 5 years ago, they closed 3 years ago, and or somewhere within that time frame, you know, and then, you know, they were single, now they're married with a kid and a dog, and you know, the 1 bedroom plus den really isn't
Now the
enough.
European-sized condo is just not big enough.
Exactly, and that's what we've had. I'm going to say probably East Market was the first one, which is, I don't know how old East Market
There's
is.
George.
Yeah, George, between George, and there's 3, 1, 2, and 3, and they're probably 16 years old now. And those were the first ones that you were getting in the low 400 square feet per unit range. But let's see who joined. Hey, Carl, you're back. Welcome back.
Can they hear us?
Yeah, somebody tell me if you can hear us okay, if anyone's listening. Oh. Bring them on camera. No, I'm not going to bring anyone else. Nobody else wants to be on camera, do you? Yeah. Okay, so, the small condos, people can't live, they can either downsize to them, or if they get them once their lives are set up, but that transition from, you know, mid-20s to mid-30s, there's so much change that happens. So it's good to get in the market. I'm not saying don't get in the market.
Yeah.
But don't
And
expect to be there
then
forever.
if you can hold on to it, if that's your move.
There you go.
Hold on to it.
Yes. I was talking with a potential first-time buyer yesterday. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I said, what's your time horizon? Are you going to be able to hold on to it, or do you think...
Meaning, Can you afford both?
Can you afford
and rent
both?
the first one out.
Keep that. Now, Rob, you're a landlord. Landlording's not for everyone. Not for everyone. Not free money. How many times did I say that?
Not free money.
Not free money,
No.
but you can go off on a tangent now.
I mean, you can manage. I had management for a long time when
Yeah.
I was working. Yes, sure, the 9 to 5 tech thing, but it does eat away big time into your cash flow. Right? It's
Yeah.
between 5 and 10% of your gross rent. So no matter what expenses you have as a landlord, they get paid their 5 to 10%. But if that's what makes you keep the building, if it's stressing you out and paying 5% to somebody makes you keep it for 4 or 5 more years,
That could be
it's
the
worth
difference.
it.
That could be a huge difference.
huge difference.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
And now, I mean, a lot of landlords are dipping their toes into short-term
and that
Airbnb type
changes
stuff.
the economics of it.
It might bring you more income. It could be more headache. It might be more difficult to insure,
Yep.
but people
Yeah.
like it temporarily.
Most condo buildings won't allow that.
That's right.
There are some condo buildings that will allow Airbnb,
Mhm.
but
Or
many
some
will not.
floors even. It's limited to certain
Oh,
floors.
really?
Some buildings, yeah.
Okay, I
think
haven't seen that,
the
but
art house
really. So,
might have a couple of floors.
oh wow. Okay. Because I know there's a condo on Kent. There's a building on Kent that's often advertised as Airbnb friendly, but many of them are not. And then we may have a change of rules.
That's right.
In Ottawa.
So that's sort of careful there if you're going to
Yeah.
do short term, I think.
Well, when I say it changes the economics, I'll just go back to that. If you think you're going to get an extra $500 a month income on one unit, even let's say you buy a triplex and you're going to do
Yeah.
one unit as an Airbnb, live in one unit, and rent out the other one to a friend.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to do that Airbnb and it's going to bring you in, say, $300 to $600 more than a regular rental, you're willing to pay more for that property.
Mhm.
So not only is Airbnb helping drive property
That's
prices
right.
up,
That's right.
lower cap rates are helping push
Yeah.
prices up.
Yeah.
And which is a function of the lower interest rates as well,
That's
and
right.
a relatively strong economy in Ottawa,
Mhm.
and possibly foreign money or new Canadian money into the market.
Mhm.
What else is there? I'm looping back to that. What's
I
driving
mean,
prices.
there's also the light rail projects that certain areas of Ottawa that were sort of forgotten towards the east and the south. People know where they're building these stations now, and,
Yep.
and they're buying up.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep,
It's
absolutely.
almost like they might have been designed for rejuvenation of certain neighborhoods that way, which
I wouldn't doubt it.
which happens every single time.
Yep, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Off Blair, just close to CMHC and CSIS.
Mhm.
There's a nice little neighborhood of 50s and 60s bungalows and
Yeah.
small two-stories.
Is that Beacon Hill we're talking
No,
about? Or
no, I'm drawing a blank. I should remember. Starts with a C. Anyways, it's northeast corner of Blair and Ogilvy.
Yeah. Mhm.
Anyways, lovely houses. The price is there because I've been watching it as a potential area for clients, and the prices just keep going up. Now it's going to be relatively close
To the LRT.
To the LRT.
If it's walking distance.
Yeah, I think it's within
You
a
get-
kilometer.
you get
Depending.
more.
Yeah, exactly. And same with Hintonburg. You could argue the LRT has helped Hintonburg a lot, but
Because look,
certainly it was already on
if
the
you're a
way.
couple with 2 cars, if you can lose a car, that's 500. Well, probably 1,000 all said and done. Gas, repairs, insurance.
a month.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, unless you drive old
So
cars.
you might want to pay more.
Yeah, well, it's worth more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and getting the parking too. Like if
Yeah.
you're going to stay downtown,
Yeah.
good luck getting 2-car parking
Yeah.
in any condo
Yeah,
building,
very
unless
hard.
you're paying big money for it. A lot of the buildings, when they were built, the smaller units, you couldn't even get parking. It was
Right.
like you're on a waiting list for parking.
Yeah.
People with the big units, the penthouses, the 2 bedrooms are bigger. They get first choice. They can buy the parking. I haven't seen the latest pricing on parking. I'm guessing. I mean,
It was 35,000
yeah,
last
I was
time
going to say it
checked,
might be close to 40, depending on the
Yeah.
building now.
which is the most expensive real estate in Ottawa. I think I did the math once.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Per square
Per
foot.
square
I mean,
foot,
it's
yeah.
very expensive.
Yeah. Well, it's not heated. It's underground
it's heated,
usually.
it's heated, yeah.
But yeah, it's just some asphalt or cement underneath.
It's not the house in Rockcliffe.
No.
It's the basement parking
Like if you want your
in the
car.
West End.
But I think 15 years ago plus, you needed to have parking with every unit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe LRT will be part of it as well, but
Mm-hmm.
I think as time's gone on, people have said no. I mean, Uber helps with that as well, but I think it was before Uber that started.
I think it's a nefarious plan. I think the city did so much work at once on our roads that it turned people off cars completely.
Yes.
And it's pushing up the market for
Yeah.
no parking.
I agree.
I'm just joking, but
And I'm going to throw in
maybe it's
another
part
one.
of it.
Bus strike, 2008.
Wow.
Guarantee you,
They lost passengers.
they lost passengers. They did it over Christmas into the New Year. It also coincided with the banking crisis for some reason. I'm not sure. It was the end of 2008. I think the bus strike was Christmas 2008 into February, perhaps 2009.
Bad times.
But I had clients that would have considered going further out of town, and because of the bus strike, and I don't even mean Bell's Corners. I mean, like I don't know, close to IKEA or something.
Pinecrest.
Not out of town. But
Yeah.
somewhere where they need a car because they're both working, and one's downtown and one's, I don't know, at the Civic Hospital or something.
Mhm.
Anyways, they're like, nope, we're gonna live where one of us can work. Walk to work.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna live there, and I think that's also part of what brought in Hintonburg as well. I think the bus strike,
Because it happened.
it happened
a little bit
now.
after that, yeah.
Yeah, I've said this before on an old video. Hintonburg was like, I don't want to insult Hintonburg, but there was certain construction in Hintonburg that was cheaply made in 1935 and was a rental unit for the last 50 years, and we're in poor condition.
Yep.
And so a lot of that stuff needs to go, and I'm an old house guy. I'm like, I don't want to tear things down.
Mhm.
I'm like, no, let's keep it, but some of it needs to go. So that parts of Hintonburg were more to the north towards Mechanicsville were a little scary, and the prices were very depressed for a long time.
Yeah.
But all around it, Westboro, Centretown,
Mhm.
Glebe, Old Ottawa South, everywhere, McKellar
Yeah.
Park, everywhere, on every side was going up. And similarly with Carleton. It was a little depressed, but Carleton's beautiful.
Location-wise.
Well-built houses, nice big lots.
Mhm.
You're right close to the Civic. You're right close to Little Italy. You know. Anyways, blah blah blah. I don't think there was any leeway for Hintonburg not going.
Yes, exactly.
And-
Now, if you extrapolate that, people might be wondering, what's next? What's the next?
Yeah, I get that question often.
Yeah.
My thought, and this sounds a little crazy. I lived right on Bronson at James as a
You
student.
did. You told me that.
Yeah.
It was kind of gross.
Yeah, it was
It was,
disgusting.
yeah.
It was a great apartment. It was cheap enough. And I could walk to school in half an hour to Carleton University. But it was at James, and my bedroom window was right on Bronson. But Bronson even now is popping.
Yeah.
It's going up north of Gladstone. It's things are selling for big money. So I thought that was going to be the next place, and I think it's already happened.
Mhm.
Maybe north of Somerset still has a bit to go up. Centretown has been up for a long time. East of Ottawa, the LRT is going to make the difference, but it doesn't have.
Are you talking Vanier?
No, I'm talking further east.
Further east.
Further east, I think Montreal Road's a problem for Vanier,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what to say about Vanier. Vanier's gone up. Like,
They're investing heavily.
yeah, I
The
know,
city
and
is.
it's going up. It's getting nicer. I'm not insulting Vanier, but is there anything that's going to really pull it up, or is it going to be bypassed a little bit? I don't know. It's not like Hintonburg
Like, to
that's
me-
surrounded by things, everything going up.
You don't. I mean, because on the north side you do have that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Rocket's
yeah,
always
exactly.
been there, but you have Beechwood,
You Beechwood, your
Edinburgh.
separation. Yeah, I know.
Rideau River.
Yeah.
So it's sort of the north part.
The north
I'm
part is
confident
great.
in. Yeah.
Yes, north and south part. It's along Montreal Road that I think is going to take a little. It's going to take some more work to get it up there. So I think because of the LRT, that little push up to the east is actually going to happen
Right.
a little further out. And
Then
it's
it
already
might-
started. and then
move
it'll push
left.
back, which happened with Hintonburg. Like
Yeah.
Westboro, Centretown, Glebe, Old Ottawa South, Civic Hospital all went up before Hintonburg. And that's a function of the construction too,
Yeah.
right? The way the
So the
homes are
housing in Vanier, in parts of Vanier, is reminiscent of the
Hintonburg.
north part of Hintonburg. Right?
Yes,
Very
absolutely.
narrow lots, almost no trees
built. Yep.
on some of the streets.
Yep.
So it's sort of,
Similar vintage homes.
you can't really fix it very easily.
Some of it's going to have
it'll
to be
be
torn
infill.
down. Yeah. It's happening
you
already.
see the very narrow stuff in Hintonburg. 18, 20 feet wide towns.
It's my aunt. Hi, Christine. I haven't talked to you in a long time. I hope you're well. Sorry, I had to look.
Yeah.
Yes, so
So-
Vanier, I agree with you.
Because I think it's still a good value.
If
If
you're
you're going
buying
to
a
hold on
hold,
and wait, it's.
Yeah.
I almost think it can't go down, obviously, and it has to increase.
nothing's obvious, Rob. I'm just being the devil's
Yeah, I'm the
advocate.
riskier guy.
Yeah, oh,
when
for
it comes
sure.
to buying.
Yeah. Now you have younger children, though. Risk can change with
There's
younger
an
children.
aversion now to
Yeah.
risk. I
Maybe
agree.
I don't want to risk that much. But, or maybe...
I mean, macroeconomically, you can't control our currency.
Exactly.
You can't control politics, national level. So, yes, of course.
What I sometimes will say is there's always risk. In Ottawa, everything's got to be bad everywhere for us to have a real downside. Right?
Yeah.
So what's happened in the past is high tech. When high tech's strong, maybe the government's pulling back, because the government pulled out back in the 90s, right? They laid people off. They did early retirement. When high tech was booming by about 90. Well, I had a job
Up until
in February of my graduating year of 95. I had a job before I graduated.
same.
Yeah. So, so that was 95. You graduated
99.
99. It was, and then by 99 things were rocking, right? And then government started to step back up and
It's
infill.
almost like
Yeah,
they
but
do this.
I don't think the government's going crazy with hiring now, but they have a shortage of IT workers, I believe. Right? They're outsourcing a lot. Well, we won't even talk about the Phoenix stuff. Sorry, we should edit that out.
That's the burning bird, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But it
Will
never-
it return
never
from
rose
the
out of
ashes?
the ashes,
Yeah,
this one.
It's still burning.
It's still burning out.
But anyways,
Smoldering.
there's a shortage of IT, software designers, testers, whatever. I think throughout Ottawa. You might be more familiar with that. You're closer to.
Not really.
No.
I left tech years ago.
Yeah.
Well, 3 years ago now.
Yeah. You don't talk to.
And, I do,
Yeah.
but not in great detail. We're all talking investments.
Yeah. So you should.
Everybody in high tech that has decent income is asking what to do.
Yeah.
And it's a wise question. What to do with this money? If you have enough.
Yeah.
to do it.
Especially if they lived through the 01 downturn.
Right.
Tech bubble, as they say. Meltdown. Is it called a meltdown? Anyways, tech went down fast and
Yeah.
hard. So where would, let's say you've got a 29-year-old single person, male or female. I believe females are buying more now than males. I could be wrong for first-time buyers, but they want to buy something, say under 400, like live in it for a while, like we were talking about. Let's say under 300.
Under
Where do you go?
300. Ooh.
Yeah, this is a challenge.
there we go.
Yeah, under 300. What do you do? They're not too picky about location. Do you go south of Ottawa? Do you go west? Do you go east? They might want to keep it as a rental. This is a hard question. I think it really depends on the person.
Yeah. And as the market is now, you can rent almost anywhere in a wide radius in Ottawa, but it might not stay that way. Whereas the core is more stable for rental futures. Right?
So I agree in principle that there will always be more people that will want to rent in the core, but there is a shortage of rentals throughout, and historically the rental market, the vacancy rate has always been very low, which means it's hard to find rentals across Ottawa.
Yeah.
Like, even renting a townhome in Canada or I don't know about Kemptville, that's outside of Ottawa. I'm just trying to think on the outskirts. The vacancy rate's still low. So
Super
people
low.
tend to buy more in the outskirts, whereas they tend to rent more in the core.
because the price is so much higher.
Yeah,
If you were
and
in the core-
often they're younger, right? They
Yep.
get a small apartment or something. So, okay, let's break with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Next question. What do you think? You've owned rental properties. We'll say that some of them have been a little rougher,
Yeah.
a little more challenging,
Mhm.
and then you've had some nice quality ones
Mhm.
over the years. What is the feedback you get from potential tenants? How does it contrast on those? Do you see a difference?
In the quality of building, or which?
Just how nice you could have an old building that's done up nicely, just fresh paint, new appliances, clean countertops, versus brand new versus
I
really
think-
beaten up.
Yeah, I think Ottawa's improved in the quality
That's what I was wondering.
of the rental
Yeah.
apartments available because, well, a lot of it has to do with the new condos because a lot
Yep.
of them become rentals. People
Yep.
see a new condo apartment, sometimes granite, washer dryer, everything
Yep.
is straight.
Mhm.
Whereas before all these condos were available, you were dealing with Centretown. Put a marble on the floor, it rolls out
Yeah.
your back balcony in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the quality of the new builds is reflecting on what landlords do to their old houses. You have to
update it.
update it
Okay.
because you can't rent it for the same price. You know,
Maybe you don't have
in
to.
a
though.
triplex.
If someone's owned it for 10 to 30 years, they
Maybe you don't
paint it
care
every,
so much about your income, but if you want to
Yes.
maximize your income,
or you're planning to sell. Possibly.
That's right.
If you're planning to sell, you want to maximize your income.
because if we're talking cap rates, which is really as an investor
Yep.
one of the biggest considerations, right? And
Yep.
And so the question sometimes is, do you raise the rent by the allowed amount every year or not?
Yeah. So, do
That-
you want to
that's-
explain how that works?
Sure. So there's, it's per city, correct?
No, it's Ontario.
It's Ontario law.
That's a good question. No, it's Ontario government says
Ontario,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
And it's sort of meant to match inflation. Province,
Which it never does.
which it never does, but they tell you how much you can raise your rent by every year to a maximum degree. I think it was 1.9% last year,
Yes, that sounds right.
which doesn't sound like much, right? It's maybe $20-25 a month
Yes.
for a landlord, which is not much. It might be a lot for a tenant, depending on their,
Yeah.
on their state.
Yep.
And for a duplex, it might not reflect hugely on the value of the building, but because the cap rates are so low, that extra $25, right, over the whole year, you're talking $350, $400,
Yeah.
divided by 4%.
Depends where. Yeah.
Depends
As long
where.
as- Yeah.
You're talking about thousands of dollars
Of value.
added to
Yeah.
your place if you increase it by this
Yeah.
amount, which I think you should, because everything else is going up. Your taxes
Everything's
are going
going
up,
up,
the water's
yeah.
going up.
Now, the argument is you want to keep a good tenant.
The question is, will they leave because
Yeah.
of this?
Or is it 4 years of increases? But where are they going to go? And I would now I'm not currently a landlord, but I would argue that with a duplex and stuff, you're looking less at cap rates.
Mhm.
Once you hit triplex, fourplex,
Yeah,
and up,
I'd say,
you're
yeah.
looking more at cap rates,
Yeah.
whereas duplex might just be owner occupied. But it does affect the value, and most landlords should be increasing the rent unless there's a really good reason not to, because it's not like they can play catch up 4 years later
That's
and
right.
say,
you can't-
I missed
yeah,
all
you
these
can't-
updates.
That's right.
Yeah,
You're
I can't
stuck
do
to
anything.
whatever happened last
Yeah.
year.
Unless there's a turnover in tenant, then you go to market rate.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so whatever you can rent at if there's a turnover, but you can't ask your tenant to leave. We could have a conversation next time. We'll
Yeah,
talk about
sure, we could do that, yeah.
Landlord Tenant Act or whatever it's
Yeah.
called, Tenant Protection Act.
Yeah.
Basically, tenants have all the rights, and landlords have some rights, but they're not really enforced. So,
It's tougher in Quebec.
yeah, yes,
Apparently.
yeah. For the landlords,
For the
it's even
landlords.
tougher in Quebec. Yeah. So, yeah. What else did I want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
Did we solve this problem for the single person looking to buy?
I don't actually have a really good answer. I think it more depends on the person. I
Yeah.
like to get to know them and their goals, and maybe help them help them through the problem, because it's a difficult problem depending on the price point, right?
Right.
If they said, oh, I can do $550, that's different, right? But if you're really tight, there's less chance, especially if they're really tight, there's less chance they'll be able to keep it as a rental.
That's right.
Unless, maybe they're finishing some kind of post-secondary education that'll, their income will increase drastically. But most people don't increase drastically, right, every couple of years. So I don't have a direct answer. I think it depends on the person. I think it's doable for many people, but they have to reconsider what they're willing to do.
And put a price to their desires.
Yes.
How much is being close to the Glebe worth to you in dollars? Versus
or downtown,
versus Nepean, or right?
Sometimes being close to family, sometimes being close to friends.
Yeah.
I always, I'd say I'm a little bit surprised when people don't seem to care who they're close to, and I'm just like, location's really important. It affects your life a lot. So I try not to put that my values on people.
Right.
I'm just like, did you think this through? If you thought it through, that's cool. But it's my job to make sure you've thought it through.
And also grocery stores. If you're not driving a car, you want to walk.
Yeah, you want to walk. How's that going to be? We'll come back to Hintonburg.
Yeah.
The government workers that work downtown or maybe at Global Affairs that think they're walking from Hintonburg to their jobs or to walk to Hull to their jobs in February during an ice storm, I say, it's not happening.
Claim that they will be doing this?
Well, they think, oh, it's still walkable. I'm like, you really should think about Centretown, but Hintonburg's a really cool place. If I was 15 to 20 years younger, let's say 20, I'd certainly, I would seriously consider Hintonburg.
Why?
I really like what they're doing with the commercial.
Okay.
The commercial's interesting, and it's so. I live in the Glebe right now, we came in maybe at the end of the interesting, and the prices got too expensive for most small stores, privately, other than Starbucks or other coffee shops.
Yeah, the big money.
I'm not putting down the Glebe, but it's not as interesting. We still got a record store and a few other interesting places. And there's places that my wife finds interesting, but I like what's going on in Hintonburg. Plus, the families in the Glebe are more my age, but if I was younger, the families in Hintonburg, that's where people are growing their families, right? So let's say you're 33, you're having kids, you've got one or two stable incomes, you can buy a place, fix it up over time on a nice street, and it's not all poor construction in Hintonburg. It's far from it, right? It's just there's a few parts where the construction I'm less excited about.
But the thing is with Hintonburg, if you got kids,
No, go ahead.
You have to have a Volvo station wagon.
You don't.
That's
You used to have a Volvo or a Subaru in the Glebe.
In the Glebe, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and that kind of changed.
Right.
Now it's more obviously SUVs and 57 Pontiacs.
All over the place.
Yeah, actually, there's a 57 Chevy around the corner, but I think it's 57, similar age. What I was going to say was, let's say your friends move to Hintonburg. They start having kids. You guys hang out. You go to a restaurant. You go to the bowling lanes. You go to whatever. They say, hey, you guys should move here too. You both, you hang out together. Maybe one of or two of the couple grew up together, or are family members. There's an energy that builds, and it builds on itself, and I think that's what's been happening there. And people that got in early, 6+ years ago, let's say, are doing really well. But the people still going in, I think will do really well. I sold a nice little detached home there. It's either 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. And it seemed like. Because everybody was trying to buy there, right? So you lose 2 or 3 multiple offers to buy a house. You step up.
I'm guessing people thought it was still expensive then.
And even me, I was looking at it. I'm like, there's no comparables that say it's worth this, except the fact that there's 3 other people trying to buy this house today.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee you're going to make money in the short term, but people want to be here. It's your decision. Anyways, that particular client in that case got the house. great investment, and the client's done very well on it. The client's never going to probably ever move.
Right.
25 years, it's a house you can live in for ever, right?
Yep.
So it's not
The question really is more of a philosophical one.
Okay.
So you see as prices and values go up, pushes commercial rents up.
Oh, yeah.
And sort of kicks out the mom and pop stuff,
yes.
right? Which was maybe what brought people in the first place.
Exactly.
There's no way to arrest that. Is there any way to
unless
slow down?
The only way to slow it down is to slow down the attraction or the economy of an area.
It's a free market.
It's a free market.
And it's going but must it always do that? Because it gentrifies because of a loosey-goosey sort of collection of businesses.
Yeah.
Rents go up. Big names come in.
Yeah, I think it takes. I think over time too, because the commercial leases are often 5 to 10 years with a renewal. So it could be that the people that signed a commercial lease, Suzy Q Donuts or the Record Center, or there's all kinds of interesting. Maybe they're good for 8 years,
right?
Or maybe they've got a renewal for another 10 years that's at a reasonable rate. But at some point, if it keeps going and people keep wanting to be there, maybe it won't be affordable, or maybe it will, because the people there will have done well on their investment. They're still really close to the core of Ottawa. They're in a place that they're in the middle of places everybody wants to be, and they're in the place everybody wants to be. Right? So their incomes have generally gone up over time, right? Let's say somebody who moved there when they're 30, they're 35 to they're 40 now. They've had time to fix up the house a bit. They paid $325 and now it's worth $550 with the repairs and the appreciation.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe they borrow some money against the house to fix it up a little more. I don't know. There's so many things going on. But Hintonburg's a really, really interesting.
It's beautiful.
No, but I don't mean just the look and the feel, but the business. And the business.
Yeah.
Not the business case, but the stuff that's happening there.
And they're building so much still, these new condos.
Yeah.
You wonder about traffic. What do you think about Parkdale, Wellington, Richmond?
So we are frequenters of the Parkdale market. Thumbs up to the Parkdale market. Well, actually, my wife is more, but I try and go as well.
You tag along?
Yeah, and so one of the reasons, so in 2001, we were looking for our first home. We knew we wanted to be in the core. We both grew up in the West End.
Right.
But we knew we wanted to be in the core. I had spent quite a bit of time commuting when we were living overseas, and I knew I never wanted to do that again. Not in Germany. Germany, I could walk a bike.
You walked through an orchard.
I walked through an orchard. Yes, I was spoiled. Yeah, 98, 99, 2000 were really good years.
I took a ferry to work.
Yeah, that's right.
It's pretty good.
Took the ferry, and I walked. I usually biked, or sometimes I drove because it was raining. It's all free. Anyways, we lived in Istanbul, as you know, so I had a commute that was like half an hour if I went on a Sunday morning, which I wasn't going to work on a Sunday morning, or half an hour up to 2 hours. So after that, I was
right,
especially for a long-term house. So we looked at the Glebe, Old Ottawa South, possibly a little bit in Old Ottawa East, Golden Triangle, Centretown, maybe a little bit in Civic Hospital, Westboro, Wellington West, before people were calling it just Westboro.
Yes, and it wasn't very interesting then.
It was not.
No.
And there was still a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
Parts of Westboro are difficult to get to. Hintonburg as well, by car. So if you are traveling by car across the city, you have to get to the Queensway. Ottawa is Queensway centric, right?
Yeah.
Just about, unless you're going south. And then
It's the Parkway too, though.
You have the Parkway, but then you end up in a difficult area at the north end of Bronson, or going down Wellington or something, right? So it depends where you need to go. Anyways, to answer your question, which was
traffic in Hintonburg.
Traffic is difficult
Because Parkdale can't be expanded very easily.
No.
There's private houses along the entire thing.
Yep.
Right. Richmond, Wellington is already maxed out.
Yep.
So.
LRT.
It's a conundrum.
LRT.
LRT.
Stop driving.
stop driving. I guess that's the whole
Yeah.
idea. Yeah. You know, people go to places in Europe and they love them to visit because you can walk everywhere.
Yeah. And the center of the town
But
doesn't
you get
have
back
cars.
and you demand.
Yeah, I need to drive everywhere.
But in a way, it's because it's not been so organized, right? You actually
Yeah.
need to drive a lot more here. But if you have everything at your footstep, you know, grocery store,
If
a couple of bars.
well, I think
market.
Ottawa. I think, frankly, in 20 years, Ottawa's changed a lot as far as you don't have to go downtown to go to a piano bar,
Right.
right?
Because they closed it.
Yeah, okay, but I'm just saying, I went and watched you at a piano bar
Yeah.
in Canada like 2 years ago,
They
right?
closed that
Bob's a
too.
musician. Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Well,
that's-
you were playing drums.
I was playing drums.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you're
there's
right.
more
Yes,
centers
yes.
now
Even
in Ottawa.
Barhaven.
Yeah,
every
there
place
has to be.
And this is why the market has changed so much.
Yeah,
Really, this is why they're closing down a lot of stuff in the market because everybody used to go there.
yeah.
But they can stay.
They can
Stay in the West End, South End.
And I think that's we're getting to a population density, I guess. Maybe it's 1 million. I don't know what the number is, but the population density will allow these things to happen. The population density of Barhaven and the number of people that are in Barhaven,
Yeah.
and the difficulty in getting out of Barhaven at certain times will lead to more people staying in. And there's jobs
which
in
is
there
a
too.
great.
That's what we want. Maybe we'll go back to separate cities,
One of the
right?
my favorite sort of philosophies is
Yeah.
these mega cities are, in my mind, a mistake in so many ways. What you want is clusters
Yeah.
of work and living space. You know, completely different to what's been done in North America.
Yeah.
And you have connections between all these clusters.
Yeah.
You know,
And their electric rail or maybe
Canals.
canals,
Canal.
horse-drawn
we have
boats.
a canal. What are we doing at the canal?
And okay, you want to start about the canal?
Yes, I do.
All right. So the Rideau Canal, which
Uh-huh.
is a World Heritage site, is that what it's called?
Mhm.
Anyways, we have this wonderful waterway going through the middle of our city,
Yeah.
5 blocks east of me, and we have 2 or 3 restaurants that are up against the canal.
Maybe. Yes.
So we've got
One that's on the canal.
yeah, at the NAC, it's on the
Yes.
canal, at the Ritz,
And the
at
Ritz.
5th Avenue, and then we've got the Dow's Lake
Pavilion.
Pavilion, and other than the NAC, which I've enjoyed a few times, the meals there, because my wife likes going there sometimes, and I've enjoyed lots of shows there by a particular band. What's their name again?
Santana, wasn't
No, it was like Santana, but better.
it? Yeah, it escapes me. But
Cobo
so-
Town.
So the canal.
Anyways, the canal, we're not using it. We've got a road on each side in the core. There is some green space. You can bike along it, which is really nice. But if we were in a European city, we'd have restaurants,
Chock-a-block.
we'd have all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. Now, we have a winter here now. We have different weather, and we can deal with that. But I think we're wasting opportunity
Absolutely.
for people to fall in love with Ottawa. It doesn't all have to be green space. I'm all about green space. Okay, I'm not against green space,
This country's full of green space.
but we've got a lot of green space.
Mhm.
We can get to Gatineau Park in 18 minutes if you want to go for a walk in the
Yep.
forest. I can get to the Greenbelt in east or west in
And there's parks everywhere.
12. Yeah,
Park,
we'll
right?
turn we're backing on
Central Park.
Central Park West here. Lots of green space. Just an aside, we had a great blue heron, is that right? Great blue heron? Yeah, in our park this spring. I don't know why, I gotta tell people, it just freaked me
Yeah,
out.
the big birds.
It's like, what is that?
Yeah.
The park was flooded at the time because it's a low point.
Mhm.
Anyways, let's circle back to the canal.
So yeah, the canal.
I think maybe it needs to be an area where there's more interesting things, kind of like the pavilion. But to me, the pavilion is just generally a waste.
Yeah, it hasn't really been kept up. It doesn't look very
It doesn't look nice. You got to park in the
Location's
parking lot.
Fantastic.
But to get there, you're gonna bike or a car. And you're driving a car, you're parking in a parking lot,
Yeah.
kitty corner to a fairly busy intersection, or I guess bikers and stuff. But it's been set up for people to walk in with their skates on, and I've been into a space there that was kind of nice where they do events. Drawing a blank on the name, and it was nice, but it still felt like
Lago, isn't it?
that's it. Yeah, but
Lago.
like this is empty 6 days a week. Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with us? Why can't we use the nice spaces?
Well, who runs the canal?
I don't know.
Are we going to talk about
it's-
that?
Yeah,
Maybe not.
We're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We're probably running up on an hour.
mm,
Hey, Charmaine. Hey. Petula says hi, Robbie.
hi, Tula. No, I hope you can hear us. No one said they could hear us.
Somebody message us and tell us if you can hear us okay, if we're just kind
It's a bit
of
late
annoying.
to ask that question. We've been
Yeah.
blabbing for too long anyway.
Yep.
So, dream car this week?
Oh. 57 Pontiac.
Wow. That's it. You've achieved.
I'm like,
That's
all right, I
amazing.
can.
It's
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah. Well, dream car.
you like the older
I like. You know what?
cars, eh?
I used to have a '76 GMC Jimmy. I'd love to have one of
A
those.
Jimmy. This
Yeah.
is the pickup.
No, it's like a pickup.
Yeah.
It's the bed in the back and had seats.
Oh yeah.
You could take the top off. This
Oh,
is
wow.
one of the first big SUVs. Well,
Okay.
I won't say the original. Like a Ford Bronco.
Oh, nice.
It's like an old Datsun Z car.
Like a 280Z.
280.
The
I had
original?
one of those. The original was a 240, and then a 260.
That's right. 240 is the Ferrari Escort.
They well, the first three look very similar. The
Yeah.
engine just got bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we're really boring people, or are we? Who's listening? You've got a nice car, but I know you're looking at others.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Might like if you ask me what dream car, it would be the Generation 1 VW Rabbit.
Oh man. Cabriolet or no?
No.
Did they even have a GTI then? No.
1979.
No.
That's it. I'd be happy.
You wouldn't. You'd be happy for a week, and then it would wear off, and then you'd sell it, and then you'd say, "Why did I sell that car?"
Every time. Seller's remorse.
Yeah. Yeah. So, where are you traveling to next?
New York City in
Yep.
September, just for a weekend.
For fun
Play
or
some
for
music.
Play some music.
And then that's it. I think in the winter we're gonna have to go south this year with the kids because it's just too cold. Kids are indoor too long.
Yeah.
You know,
It was last winter was a hard winter.
it was hard.
It was a very hard winter. And I'm a guy who likes winter. I'm not really a summer guy. And this summer, a bit too short.
Your shirt's so.
Yeah, you know,
They tell
I'm
me you like summer. You
Yeah,
get
yeah.
cherries. And,
Yeah. Well, I'm not like a humidity guy. I should be
yeah.
in the hills somewhere.
Yeah.
Not in the middle of the Ottawa Valley, right? So.
So point is, invest in real estate.
Yeah, invest in real estate. You know, that's why I became a realtor. I thought, yeah, I'm gonna buy a house. I was figuring out a new career at the time. I didn't know what I was gonna be. I was seriously thinking about electrician in 2001.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Because
why.
you like that stuff.
No, because I was rewiring my house at the same time. So I was
Right.
like, oh, maybe I could do this, but good. It's probably a really good business to be in.
Great business.
But I'm happier, I think, as a realtor, and have been happy because I've met a lot of nice people. Really, the occasional person.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here to make
Yeah,
amends.
yeah.
I'll
Exactly.
be nicer.
Yeah. No, Rob. Everyone you've introduced to me to has been super nice. All right. Enough of that.
Good. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't think we've gotten any questions. Let's talk quickly a bit more about the stats. I'll just give you a quick overview here. Where did I have them? I had the stats pulled up for July, which August is almost over, but here we go. According to the Ottawa Real Estate Market, the Ottawa Real Estate Board, rather, sold 842 residential properties in July through MLS.
Right. Not
We won't
private.
get into exclusive and stuff, but and that was just 237 more than July last year, 2018, which is an increase of almost 15%. 1,382 were residential, which was up 12%, and 460 were condos. So residential versus condo is just a property ownership, the way title is held on the property. Anyways, go into that'll be a different discussion.
Sure.
And condo sales were up 23% from July 2018, and I think I've seen that just in my small portion of the business. The condos have really moved faster. So I don't know if you've seen that.
It's just a better price. You know, if you need to be somewhere, if you want to be somewhere, it's still an easier way to get into.
It is. But you probably get clients that say, I don't want condos. I don't like condo fees. I get them all. I talk to people all the time. And I was like, well, let's just talk about this. I'm not saying you're wrong. But let's just talk about it. This is what you get with the condo fees. And this is what you have to deal with on your own if there's no condos.
Yeah.
You still good? Yep. Okay, no condos.
Yeah.
But it's important to understand it and not just say, I don't want it because
blanket statements.
My dad, my grandpa, my friend, my whatever. Do the research, understand it, move forward. So here we go. This was interesting. According to the Ottawa Real Estate Board, July actually had an upswing in new listings from June, which is actually not normal. Usually it'll slow down a bit in July. My thought is, do you have a comment on that?
Well, just to me, I would say people know the prices are good, and if you're thinking of selling, let's get
on with it. Yeah, I'm going to add in that also people were hesitant in the spring to put their house on the market because they weren't positive they could find people that are staying in Ottawa.
Right.
That they would be able to find the right house. So maybe they found it in May or maybe the end of June or early July, and then they're like, okay, we were getting ready. Now we're ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
But I think it's a whole mixture of things. So here we go. Everybody wants to know what the average prices were. July's average price for a condominium, $299,665.
So there's the edge for that person looking for under 300.
Under 300, buy a condo.
You can still do it.
Well, the problem, right, is you've got to factor in your condo fees a little more.
For financing.
For financing purposes.
Right.
They do finance, when you finance a residential, non-condo home, freehold, the banks will factor in some heat and hydro and stuff, but often the condo fees are more than what you factor in. Anyways, and that's an increase of 6.8% over July 2018. Here we go. Residential, freehold, average price in July was $487,308, which is just over 10% above July of 2018. Now, it doesn't mean all prices are up 10%, and it's neighborhood dependent. And it doesn't mean that any increase we see in August or September is added to that. We're just comparing month to month. And I can get to some stats on the year over year if you care. Does anyone care? Maybe not. Maybe
I think
so.
they're dozed off, but their screens are open.
The screens are open. Okay.
Let's just keep talking.
All right. Blah blah blah. Here we go. We'll go year over year here. Year to date, July. Number of sales of residentials: 8,943 residential properties sold. Slight uptick of 1.7% over the same point in 2018.
Okay.
Nothing huge. Condos. There was a 10% increase in the number of sales year to date from compared to 2019 January to July versus 2018 January to July. So the sales of condos went up quite a bit. Number of sales. Average sale price for year to date, we're up 8% on residential.
Yeah.
So it's not month over month, it's year on year. And condos are up 7%, 7.4. And I won't get into the other ones.
Which is a bit above average.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a bit above.
Yeah,
but
yeah. It's not craziness.
Crazy.
I was talking with somebody recently.
People really think it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's just a bit above average.
Yeah, we should be looking at 4 to 6%
Yeah.
a year, maybe, depending on what inflation is and stuff. But we did have a few years where it was almost nothing in the last few years. And previous to that, we had some, I believe, it might have been 2009, was it 9 or 10% increase on average for the market? Don't quote me on that, I'd have to look it up. But there was one year where it really
because
flipped up.
the banks dropped the rates because of the bank crisis.
Exactly, and it brought everybody in.
Yeah.
Brought everybody in. everybody was waiting. So what happens in a fiscally conservative market? If something goes sideways, everything stops. That's what happened in first quarter of 09. Nothing was happening. No sales.
Yeah, stagnation.
Yeah, it was basically everybody said, "Oh, hold what you got, don't do anything. You got to see what's going to happen." This was after the banking crisis. The interesting part is the last 3 quarters of 09 led to the highest number of sales ever in the MLS, by MLS in Ottawa.
Wow.
The first quarter, dead. The next 3 were like gangbusters. And part of it, like you said, they reduced interest rates. I don't know how low they went in 09. They went really low. The lowest they had been in, I don't know, 50 years or something. Do you remember?
It was crazy low.
Okay.
Crazy low.
Crazy low.
Yeah.
All right. What time is it? Robbie? It's 3 o'clock. I'm guessing we've been talking for well over an hour.
I gotta go because traffic is really bad at this time.
Yep. Yeah.
Speaking of
What
traffic.
are you driving through Westboro?
It's lovely here,
You're
but
gonna take
I can't
Parkdale?
stay.
Yeah.
I have to go west.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Robbie will post it, I think, to his feed as well. And
My wife might have to help me with that.
yeah.
Not
yeah.
so savvy.
And I didn't see her name pop up.
No.
She's not watching.
No.
So thank you for joining us. Do you have any last words?
No, I'm exhausted.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, everything's been.
We probably will talk again and rehash some of these things and maybe go deeper onto 1 or 2 things.
More specific.
Yeah, possibly Friday. Maybe I'll post it ahead of time if we set a time.
Sure.
Or maybe it'll be a surprise and you'll have to stay on Facebook continually to see us again.
Oof.
That's what they want. Thank you again.
Thanks.